What current trend or behavior is escalating beyond control? Conservatives everywhere are falling to extremism and have collectively lost their minds due to non-existent education and refusal to learn or accept that their beliefs does not equal truths. One of the worst things I have heard one of them say is that he has his truth, and I had my truth, and he was keeping his truth. Have the mental energy or the wit at the time to explain to him that is not how truth works, and even if I doubt he would be smart or grown up enough to actually listen or understand it if I had. This is specific to my country, but tipping. Many employers don't pay their employees a living wage, so they expect the customer to make it up in tips. I went to the corner store to buy a bag of chips the other day and got prompted with tip options 10, 20. Just pay your employees a living wage and raise your prices. If I'm expected to pay more to supplement the employee's income, just be upfront about it and build it into the price. Let tips go back to being an option for exceptional service. People doing drugs out in the open. I'm all about vaping some weed in the comfort of my own home, but seeing people do hard drugs anywhere they please is getting old fast. I saw a lady doing some sort of hard drugs right down the bench from a child at the bus stop the other day, and I wanted to give her a piece of my mind. I live in Seattle. I've always leaned left politically, but seeing what is happening to my city is turning me more conservative really fast. And free time has severely diminished the amount of opportunities to connect versus opportunities to have sex and be unsatisfied, or alone anyway in the end, which is the very thing hooks seek to cure. Everyone is losing except a lucky few or people who haven't filed for divorce just yet. There's an episode of Star Trek Voyager where 7 of 9 readjusted her regeneration chamber to give her more information than her brain was capable of processing. She started coming up with all kinds of conspiracy theories and would come up with different accusations on different people based on the same information. That was overwhelming her mind. I think that's a good metaphor for social media. Lack of critical thinking skills. As an example, most younger people unironically view TikTok as a reliable source to inform their political and social views. With the advent of AI, economic and political power will further consolidate because wealthy elites will be able to control people's opinions and perspectives at an unprecedented scale. Oh, that's easy. There is currently an outright invisible attack on free speech underway right under our noses. And it's disguised as a positive notion with the premise of not to offend anyone. If we remove said disguise, the message is purely this one person's feelings hold more value than the many if that person is offended. Hate and fear of the other. People who are different than you due to race, sexuality, religion, sex, political ideology, etc. It's a useful way for those in power to keep the plebes angry at each other instead of focusing their attention on who the problem really is. And their never-ending campaign to whitewash and rewrite American history as evidenced by Christian nationalist, pseudo-historian David Barton et al., attempting to return to a time that never was. Points perks at for every store or restaurant. Self-righteousness at everyone point out others' mistakes or shortcomings online, even though they have their own list of mistakes. Subscription models for everything Microsoft Office. Facial fillers. I'm not saying people don't have the right to do whatever they want to their own faces, only that it's changing the perception of what people should look like. Instagram face shouldn't be a thing. Increasing the price on lower quality garbage. We pay more for less of a lower quality product in just about everything nowadays. Consumerism making everything trash in general has gotten so out of hand. Extremely loud phone FaceTime conversations on public transit with zero regard for the others around you. Some people are actually yelling on speakerphone aka megaphone. Shut the fuck up. The rush to destroy anybody who makes someone feel bad. No one is taking responsibility for their own feelings anymore. If they feel bad, it has to be someone else's fault. Censoring just about every word in the dictionary relating to human relations, drugs, certain crimes, and even historical things have been said. Hell, censorship in general. All of this gender shit. It's all very narcissistic to me. People are consumed with how they are labeled and viewed by others and seem to think about nothing else. ever. How quick people go from disagreeing to violence. I hope there is a one-time thing we are leaving behind. Election year in the US will be interesting. Ozempic. The end. Guaranteed in 3-10 years we see random deaths from these skinny influencers and celebrities. For people taking it that do not have diabetes, using your gender, race, skin color in order to justify your ultra-shitty behavior as a human being, by claiming the other person is a racist, sexist, etc. Maybe a bit of slanted millennial gripe, but working closely with Gen Z, a glaring deficiency in just normal social interactions and conversations. Pet culture. People bringing their animals non-service everywhere with them is just getting to be too much. Some people are allergic to dogs. Vaping. It's actually wild how many people do it, and we have literally zero idea the health consequences. And its kids are like 12 doing it. Boomers jumping on the hoods of cars. Young people filming themselves starting problems, then being surprised that there are problems. Stripping women of their rights. Too many men find it funny, or hold a grudge towards a few women, so they want to submit all women. The victim mentality. People competing for victim cred. People making up oppressions that don't exist to get victims' empathy. People using the word woke to refer to pretty much everything that isn't racist, sexist, homophobic, or religious. People freaking out on airplanes and causing planes to be diverted. It's weird that it's happening all the time now. Not coming to a full stop at a stop sign and subsequently running it, even though they don't have right of way. Stupid rage bait videos that show useless hacks that are solely to annoy people into interacting with them. The amount of Republicans in America talking of revolution coup if Trump loses the 2024 election. Scary shit. The capture of the entirety of an individual's disposable income for basic life and modest lifestyle expenses. Social media influencers, their vapid TikToks, pranks, shorts, and entitled holier-than-thou personas. Doom scrolling. It's doing an absolute number on people's attention spans and perception of reality. Extreme fandom toxicity. It's okay to just like something or not without being a crazy person about it. Overconsumption. Cook for yourself. Don't buy clothes every season. Don't borrow money for consumables. People posting pictures of themselves online or short videos swinging their arms around in a dance. People asking for tips in a non-tipped job. McDonald's, Walmart, others, for just doing their job. I don't know if it is considered a trend, but the words at the end of the day are driving me crazy. Acceptance, by me or whatever. I truly think us as a whole are accepting shit there shouldn't be. Black folks destroying stores, especially Walmart, when they are not happy about some little thing. Ads everywhere. Even TikTok has a store now tipping culture. Pay your employees a livable wage. Pranks on the elderly. It's confusing and gross. Let them have some peace. They've earned it. Worshipping any politician, but especially a giant cartoon grifter like Donald Trump. Self-entitlement and people not respecting the people that are helping them at a job. Applying labels to oneself. And sometimes the label definitely doesn't even belong. No accountability on an individual for doing an act that is harmful or dangerous. Raising streaming prices regularly, or incorporating ads in the service. Self-diagnosis, and using said self-diagnosis to excuse shitty behavior. Consumerism, but that's been escalating out of control for decades now. A tiny percentage of the population hoarding almost all of the wealth. Atheism, abortion, loud music from cars without considering others, the rising cost of housing, and the increasing homeless population. Thinking an election is rigged just because your candidate lost. Intellectual laziness. 1-minute videos don't allow for nuance. In the USA tipping culture, it's completely out of control. Social media, especially short-form video social media. Support for Israel, particularly the Zionist elements. People playing music in public on Bluetooth speakers. Acting like a jagoff in public for internet points. All forms of public indecency for clicks and views. Being overly reliant on technology for daily tasks.